I was going to talk about something that I've kind of been hesitant to talk about, but I kind of thought I'd bring it up. You hear about this ammo shortage and all these people hoarding up ammo and all this kind of stuff, and I was going to try to kind of touch on my ideas about it. You see a lot of people hoard up your 223, your 5.56, your 9 millimeters, your 40 calibers, all your pistols and all that. And I have nothing against people that want to get out there and enjoy shooting that kind of gun. I have an AR, I have an AK, and I enjoy them, but I'm more into the 45-70, and I have a couple of reasons for that. Because, well, one, I just like the caliber better, but two, I actually shoot 45-70 for very cheap with my Trail Boss loads, shooting cast bullets. And that's some I casted out of Will weights. But not so much the caliber, but something I've kind of realized by doing that is it makes me be a lot more prepared for ammo shortages and when stuff dries out, because there's a overlooked benefit to reloading that a lot of people don't see. Most people either get into reloading to save money, or they get in there to load a really accurate bullet for a specific gun, and all that's good and all. But the benefit, and it's honestly the biggest that's probably overlooked a lot of times, and the reason I like reloading myself is if I can stock up on lead, which I get a lot of Will weights. I have a guy I know that a person that he knows owns a tire shop, and he gets me a good bit of Will weights. And I've also had decent luck going to shooting range and digging and sifting the lead out of the backstops. But if I can stock up on lead and I can stock up on primers, I pretty well never will have an ammo shortage. And the only thing I have to go to a store and actually buy that I have to shoot is my primers. Because as long as there's cars on the road, as long as there's people going to a shooting range shooting, I can come up with lead. And I have plenty of brass and it lasts a pretty good while. So it helps me kind of weather the storm when all this kind of stuff goes on. The downside to doing that is a lot of people like, especially in rifles, they like fast, accurate, like 223s and, all your high-powered rifles. But generally speaking, for those, I've got several 223 on hand, and I've got, several pistols. I've got plenty, but I look at that more of something went wrong, I need to really kind of protect myself. But I don't count on it like most people look at, they got this apocalypse in their mind that's going to happen. And I kind of blame like TV shows like Walking Dead and all these other apocalyptic shows, because people's got it in their head they're just going to load a pickup truck and throw 100,000 rounds in the bed of it and just take off. But ammo's heavy. You're not gonna carry a whole lot of it around, would you? So if something got that bad, 300 rounds is probably be all you could carry to actually go somewhere. So I don't really buy into all that. If something was to happen, I think it'd be more like a Great Depression hunting type scenario where you're out there trying to come up with you something to eat. But I guess everybody's got their own view on that. But regardless, I'm kind of gradually getting more into your slow, heavy bullets, and the reason for that is because I can cast them out of straight Will weights, and I've had good luck doing that. And you ain't got to worry about leading and stuff, because I'm not having to push them to high velocities. And the 45-70 I load, especially with my 40, IMR 4064, I think, especially with some of my hotter powders though, I can really pretty much take any game I'll ever want to take. And my trail boss loads I load in my 38, which I just what I use for plinking, but they're nothing to joke around with. I mean, they're pretty, they got a pretty good little thump to them. So, I do keep some of this stuff on hand, but I look at it more, the less I have to count on going to a store to get, the better off I am, and the more prepared I'll be to, ride the waves of all these people buying everything they got in the stores and in the shelf. I keep a lot of 22 on hand too, just because it's a good little something to play around with, take squirrels and stuff like that. But for the most part, I think I got 1,000 rounds for a 7.62 by 39, maybe 300 or 400 223. And the only reason I got so much of the AR ammo or the AK ammo is because of I actually did some trading and got a bunch of it all at once. But I just don't see the value in hoarding that much ammo up for something along them lines. Like I said, I understand the people that get out there and plink and want to shoot a bunch, and I understand the fun in that. But when times get hard, you really need to kind of focus on finding the less you got to go to the store to get, and less you can get by with. And I mean, I do keep some 30 caliber bullets on hand to load for my 308, and I got some bullets put back for my Remington 700s, and just a few other guns I got to deer hunt with. But there again, I mean, I'm just loading enough ammo to hunt with them. If it got bad, I've got enough bullets to hunt with for several years in just them guns, which ain't that many. You ain't gonna shoot that many deer hunting, but yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there. Primers and lead you can get. And one more thing I'll touch on before I end this is, you got to have powder too. But the thing with powder is you can generally work around with several different types of powders. I have several pounds of powder on hand, but if things got bad and I went to look for a specific powder and I couldn't find it, well, generally I can find something to have on the shelf. It might not be what I was looking for, but I can find something to get by with. You can work around with your powders and find a load that you like, even when times are hard. The biggest thing that's hard to find in the reloading, the way I do, is the primers, especially small pistol. But there again, I shoot a lot of large, I do mostly rifles. I shoot a lot more large rifle primers than I do any of the small pistols. But